Oh, do less for yourself and do more for others. This is one text which I brought, okay? Maybe if you have in between, like say we have interval and also lunchtime, and then I will open this, just open, and then I will leave it there. And you can see, and for example, this is Lamrim, okay? Lamrim, which is Tongkapa's text, Lamrim, which is about 500 leaflets, means 1,000, okay? 1,000 pages. And then each leaflet, each page is inscribed on the wooden block. At that time, we have no modern technology. So it's all inscribed or imprinted on the wooden block. So to print this, I saw it was like a one house wooden block, more than 1,000 wooden block, okay, like this size. And this is one printing press. This is from the Shul printing press. Shul is in Lhasa, okay? Lhasa printing press. We have, say, Choni printing press, Nartang printing press, and then Derke printing press. Only a few, okay, only maybe 5 printing presses, okay? Not so much available everywhere. But then they print this, and they have to make it show that each and every letters are correct. They cannot print and spread everywhere. If it is 100% not correct, then they can't do this, okay? It's so thoroughly done. And these wooden blocks are curved by chisel, okay? Curved. Each and every letter is curved in the wooden block. And then this wood are best in Kongpo Valley. So they have to bring the wood from Kongpo Valley and make it shape like a scripture, and then they print, inscribe, okay, with this small, very fine instrument, and they have to do like this, okay, and then this will be checked by three experts. Check after inscribed, and then they check whether there's a mistake or not, okay. If there's no mistake, then there's a process where they can say that this is correct, okay. Still, they will check. So these are so thoroughly done, and this is only one, okay. This is only one, which is Lamrim, okay. Only one volume. And then when you talk about Kangyur and Tengyur, Kangyur means Buddha's teaching. Tengyur means the commentaries done by great Indian teacher, which has 200 volumes, okay, like 200 volumes. And Kangyur, which is only Buddha's teaching, has 100 volumes. And each and every one, this is little bit smaller, because this is in the Tibetan text and written by Tibetan teacher. If these are taught by a Buddha or by Indian teacher, then this will be much bigger, okay. It will be much broader and longer. Which is Buddha's teaching alone has about 100 volumes, okay. 100 volumes like this, 100 volumes. Each volume has about 500 leaflets, okay. And then Tengyur is the commentaries done by Nagarjuna, Asanka, Tegnath, Vasubandhu, and all these great Indian teachers. They did commentary on Buddha's teaching. And these are called Tengyur, okay, Tengyur, which has more than 200 volumes. In total, Kangyur and Tengyur has 300 volumes, more than 300 volumes, okay. And then surprisingly, okay, last year when I was here to receive the oral transmission of Kangyur, just Kangyur, okay, only oral transmission of Kangyur, I came here, okay, and they searched which is the most authentic Buddha's teaching scripture. And they went all the way to Samagaon, which is in Nubri Valley, in the extreme corner of Nepal, close to Tibet. In that monastery, they have a very authentic scripture. And they transport this by flight to Sombanath, and then the teacher gave the oral transmission. And this is treated so seriously and so precious, okay? So these are translated in the 8th century in Tibetan language. We used to send many young Tibetans to Nalanda University in India. Every year we sent 10, 12, 6 like this. They study Sanskrit and then Buddhism, and then they come back and they translate. At that time, not much translation, only just simply like personal sort of note, okay? And slowly, in 8th century, then we invited one great Indian teacher called Shantarakshita, okay? In Tibetan, we say Lomi Shivatsu. And then he was in Samya monastery, and he was thinking, and then he asked the king, our king, Tisongt's king, so now why you are sending your boys to Nalanda University to study? I think now it is time to translate all the Buddha's teaching into Tibetan, because you have very good language, which is equivalent to Sanskrit. Why don't you translate into Tibetan? In the long run, okay, in the long run, this will be very good for every Tibetan. And then our king, Tisongte, he agreed. And then instead of sending, okay, they started in Samya monastery, they started a big translation group. All the good translators who are trained in Nalanda University, they collect together. And then first thing they did, this is very important today. First thing they did was they standardized the terms. Okay. For example, let's say Buddha's teaching, what term we are going to use in Tibetan. In Sanskrit, Dharma, okay? Now, what term we are going to use in Tibetan language? And then Buddha, what term? Bodhisattva, what term? They standardize all the terms just equivalent to Sanskrit. And then based on these standardized terms, then they translate it. And today, so many are translated into English. So none of the terms are standardized. So for example, like Shantideva's text, Shantideva's teaching, which has 10 chapters, okay? And this text is translated by different translators. I think I have seen five translations. And then everyone says that my translation is good. No one is standardized, okay? So therefore, now we think, which one is best? There are 5 translations in English. And then we can't say everything is exactly same. Maybe meaning may be same. So therefore, maybe in future, this will be a little bit of like say, difficult to say. If I say, okay, Alan Wallis' translation is the best because he was my classmate, and then he studied Buddhism thoroughly. He speaks very good Tibetan. He debated with us, and his wife speaks very good Sanskrit. So together they translated. So that must be the best. If I say like this, okay, and what will think of by other translators? The earliest translation was Stephen Batchelor's translation, which was very early. Okay, still I use that translation. So in this way, our way of standardizing the translation terms and then translate into Tibetan with the standard Tibetan language, which will be in Tibet, we have many, many local dialects. But when it comes to like language in Buddhism, all over Tibet, okay, same. Either from Ladakh or to Amdo, extreme Amdo, language is same. They have their own dialect, but language for Buddhism is all same. Because this is totally standardized. And whatever is translated in this language, we consider this as a standard, okay? There's no way anybody can excuse or anybody can criticize or anybody can make correction. No, no way. Yeah. So therefore, this is one of the things which we say that Buddhism is totally firmly rooted in Tibetan language. Today, Sanskrit is also quite difficult. Only few people can say or can write or can talk, but not so many. When it comes to like a common people, for example, like Tibetans, then this language, Tibetan language, is the most authentic. So this is one explanation. And I also want to show this, okay, when we have some break, I can show some of the library, how it is inscribed on the wooden block. And I saw the whole wooden block of Lamrim, okay? When we were printing this, I saw the whole block. It's like full of one big house, full. And these were brought from Tibet. Because when we lost our country, then we don't want to lose this. At least one copy we have to bring into India. Because we can make in India, but those wooden blocks are so thoroughly checked. They are really the expert. And this way, our devotion to Buddhism has been very, very profound. Okay, very, very profound. Yeah. So many texts. Okay. If you go to library archive in Dharamsala, and then when you go to the archive, okay, in the library archive, you will find thousands of thousands, okay. This all were brought from Tibet on the back when we are escaping. We brought on the back and then offered to His Holiness Dalai Lama. And His Holiness put some set, most of the complete set in library archive in Dharamsala, some are in London, British Library, some are in Swiss, and then big set in Delhi, I think one of the richest, Delhi Tibet House. If you go there, if you happen to visit there, if you check, okay, how many? It's like a mountain, okay? And all these are very authentic. So therefore, the Buddhism is not like a science or not like a history or not like a mathematics, okay? And these are need thorough study plus also thorough check, and then also need a lot of devotion. Really need a lot of devotion, okay? There are some people who are very good in Buddhism, but they don't have any devotion. And it has to go all the way to Buddhahood. It shows the direction or the path all the way to Buddhahood. Need a lot of devotion. Means really work hard, very hard, okay, as our predecessors did. Yeah.